All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Night Live in the Entrepreneurs Group. It's good to see you guys here. We're going to allow a minute for people to chime in, but if you're coming in, go ahead and type in the chat. Where in the world are you coming from? It's always good to see where you guys are coming in from. I know we have people all over the world, so it's really cool to see. I know we have people from Hungary and the UK and Australia and all different parts of the United States. So go ahead and type in the chat as you come in, and also comment "I'm ready" if you guys are ready for tonight's lesson. We're going to be talking about something I think that's very near and dear to most entrepreneurs, and that's overcoming anxiety is really what it is. When we talk about pushing through a terror barrier, what we're really looking to do is to lose anxiety and stress, right? Is to really change how we think and act and operate and how we process information. So we're going to take a deep dive tonight for you guys into the mind map and understanding how the mind-body connection works. So comment "I'm ready" if you're ready in the chat there. I'm always excited to bring you guys this information, always excited to help serve the entrepreneur community. Some of the pain points tonight that we should be able to help you guys get through and push through is overcoming anxiety, understanding where anxiety comes from, understanding why we procrastinate and how not to procrastinate anymore, and then just generally feeling stuck in business or in life. So this is not just a business lesson. This is also kind of a life lesson here. So let's jump into it, guys. I see we got people chiming in the chat, coming in. We got Lauren, we got Charity. Good to see you guys from Nigeria. Ooh, there we go. Love it, love it. Awesome, guys. Well, one of the things we work with in our other programs, our Thinking into Results program, is this mind map. What you're seeing here, and this is a pictorial image of what the mind-body connection looks like. If we're going to change your mind, we got to say, what does the mind look like, right? What does it look like? So obviously this is not what your mind look like. Your mind is consciousness, it's movement. But this is like a 5-year-old sketch of what the mind-body connection looks like, right? And it's really designed to give you guys an image to work with. So loosely speaking, there's two parts to the mind. There's the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the body. All right, if you can look at yourself this way, we are a spirit and we have an intellect, which is the thinking mind, and we're expressing through a body. And when we learn to understand this stuff, you can really start to reprogram the subconscious mind to think and act and operate in your favor instead of against you. Now, most of you are probably still in a level of awareness where your paradigms in your subconscious mind are not programmed for success. And don't beat yourself up if that's the case. Mine was not programmed that way until I was about 40 years old. So I didn't really know anything about this until age 40. But this is what happens, guys. We're born into ignorance, right? And ignorance just means not knowing. That's all it means, not knowing, right? It's not a bad term. And because of this generational ignorance, we have worry and doubt and negative thinking about almost everything. We go to start a new job, or we go to start a new business, and we start to have worry and fear about it, right? Or negative thinking, I should say. Well, your cousin did that, it didn't work for them, right? All the people around us that love us are trying to protect us. And they say, this didn't work for my friend, or that didn't work, or you start to have this worry and doubt. So we're programmed from birth to have worry and doubt and negative thinking. And this thought energy sets up fear in the subconscious mind. This fear is an emotion, right? Energy in motion. And it sets up an emotion of fear in the subconscious mind, which is also a low vibration, right? It's a low frequency, low vibration. And this fear has to express to and through your body as the physical form of anxiety. So I want you guys to think about this. If anybody here has anxiety, this is why. It comes from the thought energy. So, and this is one of the things we tackle in lesson 7 in Thinking and Results. We literally show people how to never have anxiety again. So if that's you guys, you definitely want to jump into the Thinking and Results program, because anxiety is just a physical expression of negative thought energy, right? Picture energy flowing to and through you, coming right into the crown of your head and flowing out through you. And it can be, happy, healthy, wealthy energy flow, or it can be fear-based, negative, and doubts and worry. And think about all that low vibration going through your body and expressing as anxiety. That's what anxiety is. And anxiety is going to lead to procrastination. So if you find that, maybe you're working a job and you're trying to start a side business, but you come home and you hit the couch, right? You're just like, where do I start? And you get all frustrated and you find yourself procrastinating. Again, this is why. right? This is why most of the world is procrastinating and not moving forward with their health goals, with their income goals, and not succeeding at a high level. All right, guys, so procrastination is eventually going to lead to depression. Human beings were born to create, right? We're really born to create. We're not born to work in a factory for 40 years and not create anything. Now, there's nothing wrong with working in a factory. I worked at General Electric as an engineer for 10 years before I knew better. But we don't have to remain in that ignorant state, right? We can change these things. And maybe you can set up a plan over the next 12 months to build a bunch of revenue streams on the side so that you can leave your job in 12 months or something, 6 or 12 months, right? But this is why most people are depressed around the world. And I mean, I don't know how big the industry is, a few $1 trillion in pharmaceutical sales every year for antidepressants. And there's no need for it, right? If we learned a little bit about how this mind-body connection works, we would do a lot better in life. So this is what's leading most people to depression. And that depression is going to eventually lead to dis-ease. All right, it's going to lead to dis-ease, which is a body not at ease. It's the opposite of being at ease. So this is really the way that most people, and myself included, this is the way they operate for their entire life. They never get to the other side of the equation. Since we're not teaching this stuff in school, how would people become aware? How would we create the knowledge, right? Now, knowledge is the polar opposite of ignorance, right? Knowledge is knowing. Ignorance just means not knowing. So I'm still largely ignorant about almost everything, except when it comes to like mechanical engineering and construction and wealth building in the mind, things that I've studied, things that I continue to study every single day. So ignorance is not a bad term, it just means not knowing, but we don't want to remain ignorant when it comes to wealth building and income generation and our health, right? There's certain things you don't want to remain ignorant about, because that ignorance will lead to dis-ease, as you can see here. So what we're working with you guys here in the Entrepreneurs Group is giving you knowledge. What we do on the Monday nights is giving you a cap full of knowledge, hopefully to get the wheels turning and get the ball rolling and help you guys make some moves in your life, spiritually, financially, physically, relationships, right? The whole wealth building spectrum. So we're giving you a little bit of knowledge, and we gain knowledge through study, and more importantly, through repetitive study. When we work with somebody in the Thinking and Results program, it's a 6-month deep dive into how the world's wealthiest people think and act and operate, right? It's repetition, repetition, repetition. And what we do is we build understanding through positive thinking and through studying. Now, this studying and positive thinking is what leads to a frequency of faith, right? Faith and fear are polar opposites. If you were to draw a vertical line right down the center of the stick man, worry and doubt is the polar opposite of study and understanding. Fear and faith are polar opposites. You can't be in fear and faith at the same time. They're opposite sides of the same thing. You guys see how that works? It's like looking at a coin. You can look at heads or tails, but you can't look at both at the same time. You'd be looking at the edge of the coin. So think about it that way. And you're either in a faith-based frequency about things or a fear-based. And different things have different frequencies. You might have faith in your physical fitness, but fear in your financial situation. So these are some of the things we work through, right? So faith is the frequency of mind that you need to hold between a decision or a goal and reaching the goal, right? As soon as you decide, I want to get to 10,000 a month through multiple revenue sources, that's a decision, but that's not enough. You have to hold the faith-based frequency or the high vibration, the thoughts that are going to lead to set up attractions to build what you want, also known as your goals, right? So faith is not just a religious term, it's actually a mindset or a frequency of mind. And this is also what we teach. Now, this faith-based thinking on a daily basis is going to lead to well-being and calmness, which is the opposite of anxiety, isn't it? You guys see how this works? And if you have any questions too, just we're following along on Facebook here. Go ahead and throw them in the chat. But this is a polar opposite, anxiety versus well-being and calmness. So if anybody here has ever had anxiety, why don't you put some fire in the chat if you've ever had some anxiety? I'll check it out on Facebook here. So I think most people are struggling in some way, shape, or form with different levels of anxiety. And that anxiety is, it doesn't feel good. It can be crippling, right? I know people that have gone to the hospital with panic attacks, and they think they're having a heart attack, and it's really just an anxiety attack. It's all in the mind, right? But that has to express to and through your body, and that's what's happening. Also, anybody here that knows anybody with PTS, from the military, this is what's going on. And these are the things we can help with. All right, so this well-being and calmness leads a body into movement or acceleration. It causes you to, reach out to 20 people a day, prospecting. It causes you to, get up and move the body. It causes you to go to the gym, right? So procrastination is the polar opposite of acceleration. And acceleration comes from a high frequency. Like when your body's moving, it's because you're having certain thoughts about moving your body, right? Versus procrastination. And acceleration leads to action, and action leads to a body that's at ease. I want you to think about this. Take a good look at this. Take a screenshot if you want, because here's the keys to the kingdom right now. This is the basis of what we teach in Thinking in the Results, and we apply it towards all different areas of wealth building. Now, we talked about overcoming a terror barrier, right? So let me explain a little bit about what that is. A terror barrier it's when you get a new idea in the conscious mind, which is up here, and you're trying to overrule existing programming in the subconscious mind, right? You have programming in your subconscious mind, excuse me, from the past and from your parents and from schooling. It's a belief system. It's what you believe is possible. It's what you believe is achievable. So we have all these burned in programs in our subconscious mind. But then when you get a new idea in the conscious mind, it starts to set up what we call an XY vibration. So you have an X idea in the conscious mind and a Y program in the subconscious mind. Does that make sense, guys? Put a 7 in the chat if that's making sense. I want to make sure that we're hitting home with this stuff and that this stuff is making sense, because this is what stops most of the world. And I do mean about 97% of the world from succeeding. It's understanding the conscious and the subconscious, and when they start to fight each other is really what's happening. When you get a new idea to start a side business or to accelerate your income, it's what psychologists call a double binding message, right? You have an idea in the conscious mind, but a different program in the subconscious mind. And this happens all the time with many, many things. So the key is to be able to push through this stuff. When we talk about pushing through a terror barrier, it's not that you're not going to have the fear, right? We're not saying we can eliminate fear. What we can do, we can teach you guys through the Thinking and Results program how to push forward, how to overrule your subconscious programming to move towards your goals instead of away from them, right? Does that make sense, guys? So it's not like you're not going to have the fear. We can condition that, though. If anybody here has ever gone to public speak or gone to really step out and accelerate your career or accelerate your revenue streams or do something new, you're gonna feel this anxiety, and that's what that really is. It's when you have a conflict of thought from the conscious to the subconscious, and it expresses as anxiety. Does that make sense, guys? So it's gonna be a little bit of a short lesson tonight, but I wanted to show you guys and build out the mind map and to show you guys really what's going on in your subconscious mind and your body when you're hitting these terror barriers. And again, we can hit these for a whole host of reasons. Anytime we introduce a new idea from the conscious and we start to move forward, it's going to produce anxiety, which is the expression of that worry and doubt and negative thinking. All right, guys. So hopefully tonight's lesson has given you guys something to think about. It's given you a little bit of a reason, like, why do I have anxiety? Why do I procrastinate? Right? Why am I not moving forward? And since you now have the why, right, you understand that you have a program in your subconscious mind called procrastination. Well, now we can build new programs. And that's really what the deal is in Thinking in the Results. So if anybody here would like to dig a little deeper, just type discovery in the chat. Type discovery in the chat, and one of our success advisors will reach out to you guys and take a deeper dive into the subconscious mind, into pushing through the terror barrier. And they can also learn a little bit more about you, your businesses, your goals, your life, your family, all kinds of things, and they can help you move forward. So we have an amazing team of success advisors. If anybody wants help with this stuff, type discovery in the chat and we will reach out and we'll have a one-on-one session with you guys. All right, guys. So again, a little bit of a short lesson, but it's very, very impactful. Make sure to watch this over and over again. Make sure to print out, take a screenshot of the mind map here and print this out, because when I saw this for the first time, when Bob taught this, it really, really clicked. I'm like, holy cow, like there's the operating manual for a human being. There's the map, there's the blueprint of how the world's most successful people think and act and operate. And what they're really doing is they're just on this side of the equation. They may not even know that they are. People like Elon Musk and Warren Buffett, they probably can't articulate this. But when they get an idea in their conscious, it just goes right into their subconscious and they express, and they don't have 100 other incompatible thoughts. They don't think like, what if it, what if it doesn't work? What if I couldn't do it? And they just, of course I can do it. It's gonna work, right? They're just in a very, very high faith-based positive mindset. And this is why they can create at the level that they can create. So if any one human can do it, guys, it means you can do it, right? Think about that. If any one human can do something, automatically that means you can do it, because you are the same. We're all the same. You have a conscious, a subconscious, and a body, and you are a creative mechanism. All right, guys. So again, type discovery in the chat if you want one of us to reach out, take a deeper dive in this. And until next Monday, be well. God bless. Have an amazing week. We'll see you soon.